And for this particular episode, we're going to do Stage 9, talking about The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell, talking about the history of religions and how to apply to stories, memoirs, novels, screenplays, and whatever else you would like to do in terms of creative work. After the ordeal, we're moving into Stage 9, the reward. And after your hero has gone through all of the ordeal, you may want or need to reward them with something that they can use to take on their final threat they face during the climax of your story. There are 5 types of rewards that your protagonist may need to prevail at the end of their journey. Number 1, special weapon. If you're writing in the action, science fiction, thriller, or fantasy genres, your character may need a special weapon, which Joseph Campbell referred to as the sword, to defeat their greatest conflict. The physical manifestation of the reward can also be used in other genres, but it's far more prevalent in ones that involve action and adventure. In The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy and her friends escape the witch's castle with the witch's broomstick, as well as the ruby slippers, which are essential to getting Dorothy back home. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the reward is often one of the infinite stones. In Doctor Strange, Strange uses the time stone to reverse time and save Wong. He then enters the dark dimension and creates a time loop around himself and Dormammu. After repeatedly killing Strange to no avail, Dormammu finally gives in to Strange's demand that he leave Earth and take Caecilius and his zealots with him in return for Strange breaking the loop. Bonus, get a hold of me and I'll show you that particular scene so you understand. In Thor, Thor earns the right to wield Mjolnir, his mighty hammer, once again after proving that he's worthy. The hammer returns to him, restoring his powers and enabling him to defeat the destroyer. Bonus, watch that scene. It could be a weapon, a magical treasure, or some type of device that helps your protagonist conquer the ultimate threat in the climax of your story. 2, an elixir. An elixir is a magical or medicinal potion that can heal a wounded ally or land. During the peak of a story, the hero and their allies usually find themselves in peril, their lowest of lows. An elixir can be something that heals them enough to prevail in the end. In Willow, Willow escapes the wrath of Bavmorda's power when Raziel has him use a protective spell that keeps him safe from turning into a pig. Willow later manages to heal Raziel from the curse, allowing her to use her powers to remove Bavmorda's spell from the army. I can show you that scene as well. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, an elixir is used in the form of the Holy Grail to heal Indy's father, saving him from death. Yeah, you can watch that scene. In Mission Impossible 2, Ethan Hunt gets the Belarthron canister to Naya in time to cure her of the virus she's been injected with, just as he kills Ambrose. I can show you that scene. The elixir can work in fantasy movies, thrillers, or even medical dramas. 3, knowledge. Knowledge is often mightier than any sword. It can be a fantastic tool to acquire to defeat a foe. It can drive a protagonist's internal need to be successful. It can inform them of the information they require to solve a final riddle or devise a certain plan of attack. In Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Han Solo escape with the plans to the Death Star, which is a key component to the rebellion defeating Darth Vader and the Galactic Empire. Without that reward after the ordeal of the story, the escape from the Death Star, the rebellion would not have the knowledge or perspective to destroy the Death Star. While the plans of the Death Star were physical, it was the knowledge within R2-D2 that helped the rebellion succeed. I can show you that scene. In Highlander, Connor's reward is learning that the Kurgan raped his long-departed wife. This knowledge gives Connor the extra desire and drive to defeat the all-powerful Kurgan. I can show you that scene. In Top Gun, Maverick learns the truth about his late father's classified mission details from Viper. He's told that his father didn't make the mistakes others had said. In fact, his father was a hero that saved many lives and showcased some of his best flying that Viper has ever seen. This knowledge gives Maverick what he needs to graduate with his Top Gun class and gets past the loss of Goose as he takes on more MiGs in the climax. I can show you that scene. Knowledge is power. 4. Experience. Sometimes protagonists have to experience an event or moment that opens their eyes and gives them the confidence that they need to prevail. In The Matrix, Neo is ambushed and shot to death by Agent Smith. It's not until his resurrection that he can finally believe that he is the one that Morpheus prophesied. When Neo comes back to life and experiences that type of awakening, it's only then he's able to manipulate the Matrix and defeat Agent Smith. I can show you that scene. This reward works very well in dramatic stories, too. Your protagonist can be awakened by a near-death experience, surviving an overdose, or coming to some sort of realization about their life and situation. In character piece stories that can't or shouldn't incorporate weapons, potions, or plot-driven knowledge, an awakening experience can be a vital reward within a dramatic hero's journey. 5. Reconciliation. When a protagonist reconciles with a love interest, as we see so often in romantic comedies and love stories, that reward can help them to conquer any emotional conflict that they've been facing. This reward is yet another outstanding option for dramatic stories, but it can work within genre flicks as well. In Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker reconciles with Darth Vader, which allows Vader's true self to surface as Anakin Skywalker. I can show you that scene. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Indy is given a second reward that allows him to survive his biggest conflict, the reconciliation of his relationship with his father. It's evident in their conversation within the Zeppelin and solidified when his father calls Indy by his preferred name, Indiana, telling him that his father's obsession with the Holy Grail isn't as important as their father-son relationship. I can show you that scene. Ask me for these. The reward offers the protagonist the added boost they need to propel themselves through the conflict they face during the climax of the story, where they are facing their toughest challenge, be it physical or emotional. A second weapon, an elixir, some knowledge, an experience, or reconciliation are the 5 types of rewards that heroes need to prevail. All of these are key for stage 9. And all of these things are things that you should, and elements having in the stories that you have. Well, that's it for this particular episode of Stage 9 of the Hero's Journey. Until next time, we'll continue and finish off the hero's journey. Until then, Deus Vult.